What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So, let's kick things off with big news that came in late last night. The Toronto Blue Jays extended superstar first baseman Vladdy Guerrero Jr. 14 years for $500 million. Vladdy and the Blue Jays get it done. Caught me by surprise. Good on Toronto. I did not think they would get this extension done. I thought they were going to have to wait until he hit free agency, but they get the deal done. Vladdy will almost definitely finish his career in Toronto. He gets a huge extension, $500 million. Technically the second largest contract in total value in MLB history. Technically, Ohtani got $700, but with the deferrals, it comes to a little under $500. So, it's now Vladdy, and the only guy who got more total value is, of course, Walensky with the New York Mets this past winter. So, huge deal for the Toronto Blue Jays and for Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Vladdy is the guy, obviously. His father is Vlad Guerrero Sr., who's a Hall of Fame right fielder. And he was obviously a number one prospect coming up in the minor league system for the Blue Jays. He's kind of been up and down a little bit throughout his career, but recently has been one of the league's best players. His rookie year back in 2019, he hit .272, 15 homers, 16 RBIs, 7.72 OPS. Was on kind of that pace-ish in the pandemic season. 2021 had a monster year, had .311 with 48 home runs, 111 RBIs. He led baseball with on-base percentage, slugging, OPS plus, ROBA, and total bases that year. He had a 4-1 on base, 600 slugging, OPS over 1,000, was second in the AL MVP race. Of course, Shohei Ohtani had a ridiculous year that year. Little step back in 22. 274, 32 homers, 97 RBIs, 818 OPS. Still a very good year, but not maybe an elite year. After that, in 23, took an even further step back. 264, 26 homers, 94 RBIs, 788 OPS. Last year was amazing. Hit .323, 30 homers, 103 RBIs, 396 on base, 544 slugging, OPS of 940. Slight slow start to this year of no homers, 4 RBIs, 256 average, 667 OPS, but it has only been, he only had made 39 at-bats. We are 10 games in, it is April 7th, cannot judge quite yet. So, he has been an all-star each of the last 4 seasons. He has won a Silver Slugger twice. He won a Gold Glove a couple of years ago. The transition to first base has helped him a lot after he struggled at third base early in his career. He's a great player, still only 26, and now he's signed until he's 40 with the Blue Jays, one of the league's best players he has developed into, and he gets a huge deal from the Toronto Blue Jays. And then congratulations to Alex Ovechkin. Last night against the Islanders, Alex Ovechkin scored his 895th career goal, breaking what seemed like an unbreakable record for a very long time, set by the great one Wayne Gretzky years ago. Alex Ovechkin is now the NHL's all-time leading goal scorer. What a career this guy's had. This guy is almost 40. I think he's 38 or 39 years old. He's got, I think, 43 goals on the season, and he missed 5 weeks with an injury. The guy is absolutely amazing. To me, the best pure goal scorer. Not player all time. The best player all time is definitely Wayne Gretzky. Comes to just goal scorers, Ovechkin has that title. He is absolutely amazing. One of the greatest players in the history of the NHL. All-time great, and he's the leader of the Washington Capitals, who are in first place in the Eastern Conference. Congratulations to Alex Ovechkin, who is now the league's all-time leading goal scorer. Let's go into some NHL standings. So, Eastern Conference, I mentioned Washington Capitals are in first. They have 107 points. They have, of course, clinched a playoff spot. 9 points clear in the Eastern Conference. Toronto Maple Leafs are red hot. I've won points in 9 of their last 10, 8 of those being wins, 1-4 in a row, 98 points, second in the Eastern Conference. They have clinched a spot. Carolina, who's also clinched a spot, has 96 points. Tampa's got 94. Both of the teams have already clinched a spot. Florida, who recently clinched a playoff spot, they have 92. They've been struggling a bit, but still fifth in the East at 92 points. In 6th is Ottawa with 90 points. They've been playing well. The Devils are 7th with 89 points. And they have the Canadiens are the last team in right now. They have won 5 in a row and are looking like they're going to get the last spot in the Eastern Conference. The Rangers are 6 points back. The Rangers are just a mess. Nothing left to say. Very disappointing year. Detroit Red Wings are also 6 points back. The Islanders are 7 points back. The Islanders, you know the deal. They're old. They're mediocre. Farfus isn't good. They're a mess. You have Columbus, who's fallen out of it. Buffalo has been playing well lately. Gonna be too little, too late. And Pittsburgh, Philly, and Boston have all been eliminated. Boston's lost 9 of the last 10, and they are right now actually the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Western Conference, Winnipeg Jets still first in the West. They've already clinched a spot. 108 points, but the Dallas Stars continue to play some really good hockey. 105 points, only 3 points behind Winnipeg for that top spot in the Western Conference. Vegas has already clinched a spot. They have 102 points. They've been playing really well. All of a sudden, they're only 3 points up of second and 6 points out of first in the West. The all teams only have 5 games left. Colorado has clinched a spot. They have 98 points. The Kings have just clinched a playoff spot. They've been playing some good hockey. 97 points for them. You have Edmonton in 6th with 93. Blue continue to play some great hockey. They have won 12 straight games. They're going to get in. They have 93 points as well right now. But Edmonton's got 2 games in hand on them. So Blues, a few weeks ago, we thought they weren't going to even get in. They might be the 5th or 6th team in the West. Minnesota's the last team in right now at 91 points. That should be the 8. Calgary is 6 points out. Vancouver has fallen 8 points out. Utah's 9 points out. And Anaheim, Seattle, Nashville, Chicago, and San Jose are eliminated from playoff contention. Taking a look at the playoff picture in Atlantic, Toronto's got a 4-point lead on Tampa right now and 6-point lead on Florida. Florida's 2 points behind Tampa for second in that conference. And then you even have Ottawa at 90, and Atlantic's probably going to get 5 teams in because Montreal has 85. They're that 5th team in the Atlantic. In the Metro, Washington is 11 points clear of Carolina with 5 games to go. Carolina has a game in hand, but they're just about to, they should be clinching the Metro in the next couple of days. And then, the Devils were probably going to get in. Rangers probably will not get in. Kind of anyone's guess for those playoff matchups. I've said many times, Carolina hosting New Jersey is almost definitely going to be the play. That gets pretty much solidified at this point. Other than that, we really don't know. Tampa will play Florida right now. The season ends today in the first round, but Ottawa all of a sudden is only 2 points behind Florida and 4 points behind Tampa, so Ottawa could be second in the Atlantic by the time the playoffs roll around. So still kind of up for grabs there. In the West, of course, I got Vegas leading the Kings by 5 points in the Pacific Division, and in the Central, Winnipeg, of course, leads Dallas by 3 points. In that division, so we really don't know. Right now, it'll be Dallas and Colorado, but you never know. Dallas could steal the first spot from Winnipeg, and in that case, it'll be probably Winnipeg playing Colorado. And you got the Blues, who are only 5 points out of third in that division as well. So, and the Wild are 2 points behind them. And then in the Pacific, it looks like we are going to get the Kings hosting the Oilers in the first round. But the Kings 5 points behind the Knights for first in the Pacific, not completely out of it in that division either. Heading to the NBA standings, the 10 teams have been solidified in the East. All 6 teams who are going to be in the playoffs have clinched the playoff spots. We know the 6 teams that will make the playoffs and the 4 teams that will be in the play-in. Right now, Cavs lead Boston still by 4 games for the top spot in the East. Knicks are pretty much locked to third. Indiana 3 games behind them for third. Knicks have 4 games left. Boston's have 4 games left, so Knicks most likely will be the 3 seed. Indiana most likely will be the 4th seed. Milwaukee is 3 games out of 4th right now. They have a 1-game lead on Detroit for the 5 seed. Detroit currently sitting in 6th, a game behind Milwaukee for 5th. The play-in, the 4 teams are going to be Orlando, Atlanta, Chicago, and Miami. Right now, Orlando's got is a game ahead of Atlanta. The Bulls, been playing pretty well. They right now are only a game out of 8th and 2 games out of 7th. The Heat, who had lost 9 or 10 in a row, then they won 5 or 6 in a row, lost their last couple, but they're only a game out of 9th and only 3 games out of 7th. So 7th and 10th are only 3 games apart from each other. We know the 4 playing teams, seeding is still up for grabs as we head into the final week of the regular season. Of course, Toronto, Brooklyn, Philly, Charlotte, and Washington are eliminated. The Sixers just shut down Tyrese Maxey's got a finger injury, so what a disastrous season for the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, Western Conference. We got The Thunder have already clinched the 1 seed in that conference. 2 seed is the Rockets. They've already clinched the playoff spot. You got the Lakers right now are the 3 seeds. They had a big win by 27 over the Thunder the other night. Denver is in 4th. By the way, Rockets lead the Lakers by 3.5 games for the 2 seed. Denver right now is a game and a half behind the Lakers for the 3 seed. They're in 4th. Clippers have been playing great basketball. They are in 5th in the West. Half game out of 4th as well, and only 2 games out of 3rd in the Western Conference. Got the Golden State Warriors in 6th. They are actually tied with the Clippers for 5 and 6. Both have identical records. I actually have a 4-way tie technically for the 5 spot, which is crazy in the Western Conference. In Minnesota and Memphis, they all have the same record. Of course, Memphis is kind of in freefall mode. The Kings and Mavs are probably going to be the last 2 spots. The Kings haven't been playing great, but the back half of the Western Conference has been really struggling. Mavericks, of course, have been freefall since they traded Luka, but the other team that's still around, that's not eliminated, is the Suns, and the Suns are a complete joke. Kevin Durant's out right now. Suns have lost 6 straight games, lost to the Knicks last night, and they have fallen 2.5 games out of the play-in as their play-in chances continue to decrease. Can't believe that team, you give Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, they might not win a single playoff game. Not one playoff game. They were swept by Minnesota in the first round last year, and now they're going to miss the play this year. Wow, that is sad. Not a single playoff one. And Kevin Durant is almost definitely getting traded. I can even see Devin Booker getting moved. Beal, I would think, would be the first guy out, but that contract is completely untradeable. That guy has got nothing left. But that is the playoff picture in the West. For playoff matchups, Knicks are going to play either Milwaukee or Detroit. The team that does not play Knicks will mostly play Indiana in the first round. Playing matches anyone's best guess in the East. We do know the 4 teams in the West. It's very, very much so up for grabs. Really nothing to predict right now, but I do know, the first play matchup. I do know in the West that the 9-10 matchup is almost definitely going to be the Kings hosting the Dallas Mavericks. A couple of small NFL moves that happen. The Dallas Cowboys acquired quarterback Joe Milton from the Patriots, get him in a 7th rounder for a 5th round pick. This trade doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, especially for either side, but definitely for the Dallas Cowboys. So, well, first of all, I don't get why Joe Milton wanted to go to the Cowboys. Apparently, the Patriots had better offers on the table, but they took less to send him to the Dallas Cowboys, because that's where Milton wanted. And I don't know why you would just not take the best offer for Joe Milton. He played 1 game for you. He was a 6th round draft pick. I never saw anything in this kid. I've said before. Incredible practice player because he can run really fast and throw the ball really far, but when he put the pads on and put 11 other guys on the other side, the guy is god-awful. He can throw the ball really far, and that's about it. Flashy arm, nothing else. So I'm not sure why they would take less for him. Also, I'm not sure why he would go with Dallas. Like, Dak Prescott is mediocre as hell and overrated, but he's a starting quarterback in this league. He's on a $300 million contract. I guess he's coming off an injury, but, maybe able to slight upgrade over Cooper Rush as a backup quarterback, but maybe. In fact, I don't even think he is, to be honest. But I don't know why he'd want to go there. He doesn't have a path to playing time. Maybe if Dak gets hurt again, he did miss the second half of the year last year with the torn hamstring. So maybe if he gets lucky, he could get a couple of games here and there because Dak gets hurt. But other than that, he's not going to see consistent playing time in Dallas. He should have went to somewhere even like Pittsburgh, where all they have is Mason Rudolph right now. They're kind of in limbo. Are they going to draft the kid? Are they going to sign Aaron Rodgers? So I don't understand why he'd want to go with Dallas. And for Dallas, you didn't give up you have a 5th round pick for him, but you give up a lot for him. But I don't see. You might as well have just re-signed Cooper Rush to back up Dak Prescott. I don't understand why this was a necessary move. So, kind of doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for anybody. For the Raiders, they extend Geno Smith 2 years, $85.5 million and $66 million guaranteed. I think it's a slight overpay. Geno's a decent quarterback. He's a league average quarterback. He's in that same Dak Prescott tier. But I didn't mind them trading for him. That was a pretty good move. You reunite him with Pete Carroll, who of course was with him in Seattle. He's definitely better than what they had last year, the last couple of years with Aiden O'Connell and all those other slew of just random-ass quarterbacks. But to give him, $42.5 million a season or whatever it comes to is a little bit much. The $35 million a year contract that he was given. That was very fair. I wouldn't have got much higher than that. They went, I think, to, $42.5 million. So I think that's a little bit much for Geno. However, now you have for 3 years, not the most impossible contract to trade in the year or two if you do want to move on. So we'll see what happens in the draft with them. And the Arizona Cardinals extend Trey McBride, their all-pro tight end, 4 years, $76 million. McBride is being drafted in the middle round, has been one of the best tight ends in the league. 2 years ago, 81 catches for 825 and 3 scores this past year. 111 catches for over 1,100 yards and two touchdowns. If he had a bit better quarterback, he would be a much more of a threat in the red zone. He's a great tight end, one of the best tight ends in the league. Still really young. This is only going to be his 4th year in the NFL. But he is definitely one of the best tight ends in the league, and the Arizona makes him the highest paid tight end ever. A $19 million a year contract for Trey McBride. So let's recap Friday Night Smackdown. A lot of exciting stuff happening. Of course, WrestleMania is right around the corner. I have WrestleMania pockets coming up. Shooting for next week. I will confirm that in the coming days. So we had Rey Fenix's debut, which was incredible. That was a great match with Nathan Frazier, of course, half of the NXT Tag Team Champions with Axiom. Those two guys are absolutely incredible. Nathan, that was perfect. That you couldn't have been more perfect. From the entrance of Rey Fenix, that was great. He looked amazing. And Nathan Frazier, he put on a show. That kudos to him. I hope him and Axiom get on the roster. Those two, they put on a show. So good for them. You had LN8 beat Tama Tonga in the match after they had a little backstage, a little spat. By the way, the backstage after the Fenix match had Santos Escobar tell Berto and Angel Garza, this is what I expect out of you. And then Berto says, oh, I'm better than him. He's a flash in the pan. Well, Santos said, all right, beat him next week then. I'm going to get you a match so you can prove it. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair had a very weird promo. So, a lot of people had differing opinions on this. Some people like it, some people didn't. To me, this proved that Tiffany Stratton should win their match. She should beat Charlotte Flair. Tiffany needs to win a lot more than Charlotte needs it. Charlotte is a 14-time world champion. She's one of the greatest women's wrestlers ever. And Tiffany, she's of course just getting started. But look, this build has been a little lacking recently. But Charlotte, she goes off script all the time. The fact that Tiffany went off script, calling out her 3 divorces, not a big deal to me. It's a promo. Charlotte's gone off script her whole career. She went off script with Becky Lynch. She did it with Tiffany multiple times in multiple promos in this build. Not a big deal. Also, Charlotte looked really flustered out there. Tiffany just annihilated her. The crowd was giving it to her. Tiffany Stratton should win the WrestleMania match. A lot of the WrestleMania matches, I'm not going to be too upset no matter who wins. I trust Triple H, but if Charlotte wins, I wouldn't be too happy. Although I am a fan of Charlotte Flair. I think she is one of the greatest of all time. Next week is going to be a tag team gauntlet to determine who will face Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Tag Championships at WrestleMania. It's mostly Machine Gun defeat DIY in a tag match, so most City Machine Guns are not going to be number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. I think DIY, I think they're kind of they're starting to put pieces together for DIY to break out. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of see it happening. I feel like they haven't been on the same page. I feel like recently, they're definitely on a losing streak. I think they're kind of writing someone to turn on the other. I'm not gonna lie. Naomi beat B-Fab, and then Jade Cargill, of course, got involved, and Nick Aldis made their match official, though it was basically already official. Really, really unfortunate news. Of course, Kevin Owens was supposed to fight Randy Orton at WrestleMania. It was going to be an amazing match. Kevin Owens had to come out and pull out of the match. He has a serious neck injury. He's going to have neck surgery. He says he does not know when he's going to be back. Really, 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 real shame. Kevin Owens is one of the greatest in-ring guys we've seen in a long time. By the way, he said he's been dealing with it for 4 months. That gruesome ladder match he had with Cody Rhodes, where Cody Rhodes out slammed him through a ladder, was 3 months ago. Last month, he had that gruesome match with Sami Zayn, too. So, kudos to Kevin Owens. He's an absolute warrior. He's going on Insight, Chris Van Vliet's podcast this week. I'm excited to see what he has to say. He went on someone else's podcast last week as well. Then, yeah, so Nick Aldis brought him out to the ring. He made his announcement. Oh, it's really, really sad. I really hope he does make a full recovery and comes back, sooner rather than later. I wish him nothing but the best. He's one of the all-time greats. And Randy Orton came out, and he kind of like he now something on ringside. From what I've read online, I think he said, "Go get yourself fixed." So kind of a moment of respect between the two of them. Obviously, this is a real moment, not scripted by any means. Not trying to make it seem real when it's fake. Obviously, with WWE, so. And you could see it. I mean, there was rumors online beforehand, but you could see when Kevin Owens was walking out, it was all over his face. Nick Aldis even said, oh, in this profession, it's the hardest thing I have to do. Even on Randy Orton's face, you could tell he was just really, really disappointed. Those two have gotten close, and they have great chemistry together. You could even when he was walking out, you could tell he was a little, sad. I'm sure it felt terrible for Kevin Owens. And of course, Nick Aldis said, unfortunately, you don't have a match wrestle. And Orton RKO'd Nick Aldis. If you remember, last year, when Orton RKO'd Aldis, he fined Orton $50,000, and Orton came into his office and handed him the fine. And Aldis goes, Randy, the fine was for $50K. This is for $100,000. He goes, that's for next time. And of course, he RKO'd Nick Aldis again. Remember, people don't realize Nick Aldis was a great performer in TNA. He was in TNA years ago. Under the ring name Magnus. He was a really good TNA wrestler. He's in great shape. Could they do Orton against Nick Aldis? That would be a lot of fun. There's rumors that Aleister Black, they've hinted he's coming back. They just re-signed Rusev. Could they fight one of those two guys? WrestleMania, maybe kind of like a Seth Rollins fighting a returning Cody Rhodes situation, WrestleMania 38. So, very excited to see what they do with Randy Orton. He should still have a really good match at WrestleMania. I think they will figure something out. And Jacob Fatu defeated Braun Strowman in a last man standing match. He will fight LA for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. I was really hoping they'd do him against Solo Sikoa. They've been kind of doubling towards that, but have slowed down and kind of picked it up, as it's gotten closer to WrestleMania. Fatu should win that match. He's incredible. He deserves it. The turn on Solo will happen at some point, and that will be a great feud. But, LA Knight, they took the title off him. They only put it back on him because of how bad the Nakamura reign was. I think Fatu should win that match at WrestleMania. And the main event segment was, of course, the sort of that with Punk, cutting a promo. Then Heyman came out and he said, please tell me what the favor was. I mean, he thought it was that to get Punk into the main event of WrestleMania in night one. But then Punk, of course, a week before said that's not the favor on mode. And Punk said, if Roman Reigns is going to be here, I would like to tell him myself. By the way, I love before when, we went backstage and Heyman was talking to Byron Saxon. He said, CM Punk, whatever the favor is, the answer is yes. And then it looked like Roman Reigns was pulling up on his car. And then Heyman goes, my tribal chief. And then Seth Rollins gets out of the car. And Rollins goes, you respected the other Shield brother. Seth Rollins, just generational trolled that guy. And then, of course, Roman shows up later. He zooms right past Heyman, goes out to the ring. And then Punk reveals that the favor is that he wants Punk to walk out with him at WrestleMania and be in his corner. And Roman was like, tell this guy now, this is ridiculous. And then Punk says, I can't do that, my tribal chief. And then Punk hit Reigns with a GTS, and Seth Rollins just kind of stood there and was laughing his ass off and instigating, as he does. Incredible moment. The Wise Man has turned on Roman Reigns. He's aligning himself with CM Punk. I wonder, does he turn on Punk and go back after WrestleMania? Who knows? Blames, of course, a complete snake as his character. But can't wait for WrestleMania. That's all we got for you guys today. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.